Crop breeding is a technique that has been used for thousands of years by people who have wanted to improve plants for food and other resources. Crop breeding is when parent crops are selected for some beneficial trait, then crossed over many generations to make the crop even better. In every cross, DNA is passed from parent crops to their progeny. This DNA contains genes, which are pieces of information that help determine what the crop will be like. Based on the genes that are in a crop, it will grow differently and have different traits. Every generation, progeny are selected for their traits and crossed again. This process repeats until the desired goal is achieved. One example of crop breeding is the development of corn from teosinte. Teosinte is a small, hard grain. People cannot eat the grain unless it is cooked in a certain way to soften the outer shell. 9,000 years ago, there was no corn, only teosinte, but over many years, growers in Mexico cultivated the corn we eat today from teosinte, its wild ancestor. The growers did this by selecting the teosinte with the softest coats and largest ears. Over many generations, the crop became soft enough to eat and turned into a dietary staple in North and Central America. Another true story of crop breeding is Norman Borlaug and the Green Revolution. We learned in Lesson 3 that Dr. Borlaug created a wheat variety that was shorter than others. This was important because wheat plants were growing too tall and falling over, so people could not harvest and eat them. Dr. Borlaug created the shorter wheat plant by selecting short wheat parents and breeding them to create a line that would consistently be short. Later, scientists were able to identify which gene Dr. Borlaug was selecting for in his crosses. Crop breeders are still around today, trying to solve problems by making the best possible crops. They have access to many tools and information humans didn't have in the past, so crop breeding can be faster and more targeted than ever before. Crop breeding is especially important as we see climate change and population increase. We will need new plant varieties that can grow in our changing environment and sustain all human life with limited resources.